Hi guys, you're welcome to the one show where we don't just talk but we get into it. Yes, it's on the spot here on FreshNEWS TV, and I'm your host as always, Adesuwa, aka Miss Sunshine. Yeah, my guest today is a very gorgeous looking lady. Yes, she's one of those melanin goddesses, like melanin so black, that kind of black beauty. Yeah, she is the CEO of Ehbs Couture, Esther Thomas. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
I was going to introduce you as Ebony at some point, but I was like, okay, I'm just introduce you as Esther. So before we get into everything, just tell me how you doing. How have you been?
Very well. It's nice to be here again.
Okay, you're so chilled. You're so chilled, but can you drop the chilled for a bit,
Okay.
and then so we can get to talk here. Okay, so you are a fashion person, fashion designer, stylist, and all of that. Like, what would you actually say you do first of all?
Let's just say fashion entrepreneur, because I do everything fashion.
And then it brings in the money.
Yes.
The entrepreneurial part. Okay, so how would you describe your creative process?
It's not fixed. That's why it's a creative process. It's like different things at different times. Or like, what do you mean? Do you mean like when I'm producing something, how long it takes?
How does it take? How do you come up with an idea of a design, and how do you bring it to life and all of that?
Okay, I would say everyday life, because like I could just see something and look at it from a different angle, and I already know what I want to do with it or with that idea. So it's just everyday life. It can be anything that I see people walking on the road, a flower that I see maybe with an unusual color, anything.
Okay. You know, they say creative people at some point usually get some kind of block. I know, like, as a writer, I know that sometimes when you're writing, you get writer's block, and then you don't really know how to go about it. The designers actually get like creative block.
Yes.
So how do you handle that?
Okay, for me personally, I just stay away from work at that point and just do other things.
What if you really need to deliver on something like ASAP and then you're getting that block?
The faster I leave it and just refresh, the better. I've come to realize that if you force it, you might not really get what you want. And it's better to spend 2 minutes to do something that you're sure of than to spend 10 hours because you're trying to get something and you don't even have it together in your head. So you can just take 1 hour, 2 hours off and just refresh. And if it's something that you love, there are so many times where I'm like, you know what, I'm even going to quit this thing. But after an hour or two, I come back to it and I finish it well. So that works for me.
Is it kind of frustrating when you are in that situation? Like, I really need to deliver on this stuff and I'm not getting any idea of what to do with this fabric or anything.
Yes, it's very frustrating, but I came to realize after some time that it's okay to just take a break and just refresh, do other things, listen to music, and then somehow when you're doing that, your mind will still go back to, okay, you have work to do, and somehow it will just come together. And when you go back to your machine or you go back to your drawing table, you find it easier to just carry on. But if you just stay in that moment and you struggle, you're stressing your head, you're just going to be stressed out and you might not like the end result. So I just believe taking a break is always good.
Tell me about that one time where a client did not like your work. Okay. Because I know there has to be that time when you delivered on a job and the person didn't like it. Tell me about it.
Well, the truth is, it's not just one time. It happens a few times, but let me see. I think the most recent one, a client gave me a fabric to make 2 different dresses, and she wanted both of them to be white, like the appliques and the attachments on the same. It was the same Ankara, but then I went to get the extra white fabric, and I looked at the fabric, I looked at the white, and it wasn't working. And I don't want a situation where I'll do something for you and then I'm not happy. Like, I like to be happy with the work that I give out. Fine, that's what she wanted. But I was like, let me just tweak it a little bit. I had a bit of green and I did it. And then she came and she was like, she doesn't like this. I felt so bad because I liked it. Like, I feel like it was better than, her original idea. And we have this problem sometimes because people don't even know what is suitable for them or what they just feel like. So I was trying to just make her see that, okay, there are other ways you can play around with this thing. And she was complaining that, why didn't you use white? Why did you use green? You know, and she kept complaining until when other people walked in and they were like, but this is really nice. And she was like, no, she wants the white. And we had to redo the white for her. And then she was like, no, she wants the green.
So you had to now go back and
redo it again. So it's like I know what I was doing from the beginning, but then you understand.
How did that make you feel that? Actually, but I did this before, and you said you didn't want this. So why do I have to? Did she pay you extra?
No, she did not. So yeah, that's why it was frustrating. But at the end of the whole thing, I was happy that she saw my effort. That she now understands that I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one random question quickly.
Okay.
What is the ugliest thing that you own?
Ugliest, as in dress?
Anything that is so ugly. You know, it's ugly, but it's your possession and you like it.
Okay, I would say handbag. Like, I have some handbags that my friends hate and they don't understand the idea of the bag, but I love them.
It's ugly, right?
Yes, it's not fine. Like, it's not the regular handbag. Like, some of them have like some shapes like this. It's just off, but I just like it.
Why?
And I have it. I don't know. It's just, I just like it. So yes, I would say handbag.
I'm trying to picture what the ugliest thing that I own is. And then it just came to mind, and I'm not going to say it because it's very weird. It's very weird. Okay, so I know you like food.
Yes.
I know you like food and you like food. Okay, so what's the weirdest food combination that you enjoy but other people think when they see you, like, are you sick? Why would you be eating something like this? What's that weirdest?
There's a lot of them.
What's the
but let me just
one?
say coconut and jam.
Wait, what?
Coconut and jam.
Wait, coconut.
Yes.
And jam.
Yes.
How do you eat it? Like, you
together, you just put the jam on the coconut and just.
How do you feel after
you ask for it. You ask for it.
How do you feel after eating it?
Sweet. It's sweet. Like, sweet.
First of all, I hate jam. I hate it with passion. And then you now put it inside coconut.
It's nice. You should try it.
No! We're just going to get away from it. I cannot imagine you eating coconut. I'm looking at you right now, and you look too posh to be eating coconut and jam.
But it's nice. It's really nice.
Okay, away from that. How do you stay organized amidst all of it? Because I know, like, trends are changing, and then people are expecting designers to change, seasons and all of that stuff. So how do you get to stay in tune and stay organized with all of these changes?
I do a lot of research. And sometimes we are the creators of the trends at the end of the day, so you don't really need to follow like what is. I try to do my own thing, and I do a lot of research. I spend a lot of time looking at old designs, what was done in the 80s, in the 70s, and I think for me, what I'm trying to pass out there, like through my designs, is that you can be simple but classy at the same time. So I don't like just follow the trends and go over the top. I just like it to be simple but elegant. You can just walk into a room and make a statement.
Okay. Why do you expect women to feel when they wear Ehbs Couture?
Elegant.
Okay. Okay, that's one word for it. What is the biggest, or what was the biggest rookie mistake you made when starting out? Like, when you were starting out, what would you say was the biggest mistake you made?
Rookie mistake. I honestly don't know.
Okay, let me make it simple. Like, when you're starting out, you're new to the whole thing, you're bound to make lots of mistakes. Which one would you say was the biggest mistake you made?
I'm still trying to remember, but I was around fashion for a long time. I didn't just start. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. So I modeled for about 5 years professionally before I started fashion designing. So I've always been around designers, and I knew that I was going to end up as a designer. Like, that was a long-term goal. But I started as a model. So, we go to fashion houses for fittings. We work with designers a lot. So that was a learning process for me. So I was, looking around and trying to take in as much as... Of course, I made mistakes when I started myself, but I would say... Okay, let me just say, if I made any mistake, I I would say I focused on like the not so important things. But it was very recently that I spoke to somebody, that an established designer. He's like my mentor now, and then he told me that in fashion designing, the most important thing is your delivery. So you should spend, like at the beginning, you should spend all your money on your delivery. Like make sure you have the right equipment, make sure you have your back end should just be intact before you think about who is wearing the dress, or even take a picture of the dress and put it out there. Just make sure that everything behind closed doors is perfect. So when I started, I didn't know that. I just figured, okay, the dress has to look nice, it has to look appealing, somebody has to wear the dress and bring it out there. But I didn't focus so much on the production process and put all those things. But then I know better now, so yes.
Okay. I know I've worn some of your designs and they're so amazing.
Thank you.
Have you had what does this girl even know moment? Like people look at you, maybe like people that feel like, okay, I've been in this business for like a long time. So what does this girl actually know? Judging from the fact that you're much younger and all that stuff. Have you had those kind of experiences?
Not really, no. Like surprisingly, I see some people that have even been in the business like much longer asking me for questions, or how do you do this and how do you do that, and it's a bit surprising to me because I feel like they already know it all, so I don't know.
Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to ask another random question. Okay, you're so dark and you're so fine and all of that stuff. Have you ever had somebody lose interest in you because you're too dark? Because I have had somebody lose interest in me because I'm too light-skinned. Oh, you're lighter than you look in your pictures. Those kind of things. So have you had that kind of thing?
I think maybe when I was much younger. Like in secondary school, and then yes, I didn't have a lot of friends. I don't know if it was because of my skin color, but I think when I was much younger, that was when I had,
How did that make you feel?
I didn't feel bad, funny enough. And really? I keep telling people, when I meet people, they're like, your skin is nice, don't bleach you. I'm like, at this age and time, if I was going to do it, I would have done it like a long time ago. And I tell people, like, I have never had the urge to even try. Like, okay, let me just lighten somewhere a little bit or something. I've never had the urge. Because everybody in my family is black. I've been around black people, so...
Well, I've been around so many black people. I feel like the odd one out most times. Because I'm freaking too light. Lights that mess with my family.
No.
So
I think we're all beautiful, and it's good. God knows what He's doing, so everybody is different in their diverse ways. Light skin is beautiful, black skin is beautiful.
Thank you. That's the first time somebody is that is saying light skin is fine, because they're always saying you cannot buy black, but you can buy white skin. Okay, what role do you think social media play in fashion, especially in today's fashion? What role do you think social media play?
Today's fashion, I think social media has 70% off, because it helps you get your work out there. People see what you do, and it doesn't limit you to where you are. Social media helps you to take your brand global. So I think social media plays a huge role.
But do you think it actually influences people's choice of fashion or style?
Yes, that's why we have the rising trend of fashion influencers these days, and so yeah.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you. I like to ask this question, but nobody has actually been able to do it. How would you describe the color yellow to a blind person? Well, you're a designer, so you should know how to describe the color yellow. How would you describe the color yellow to a blind person?
Well, has the person been blind all their life?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm sure even if you're blind, you've heard of sunshine like your entire life.
Well,
so
how would you describe the blind person is supposed to be able to feel like when you give the description, you're supposed to be able to get a mind picture of what color yellow looks like.
Color yellow looks like. Okay. Well, I don't know. It's up to the blind person to feel. Like I'm going to tell you light, something really light and yellow.
Do you have to be yellow?
I don't know how.
Really? So you cannot describe the color yellow to a person. One random question. Do you think my style sucks?
Yes.
Why?
You're a TV presenter. Yes. Yes. No, not all the time. I mean, but then, like, I don't know. Like, people are different, but like I have this belief that, as a TV person, you're supposed to, spice it up a little bit.
What?
But then Ehbs Couture is there for you anytime.
This girl just shaded.
No, it's not.
She just
I'm like that
saying
even with
me.
my friends and everybody around me. I'm like
Why
that.
did I ask that
I'm always
question? First of
the
all,
fashion critic. It's coming from a good place, though.
I know. It's just that I don't know how to feel. It's just that I don't know how to feel. Okay, so before you go, you're going to have to do something that is really random. What is 37 times 37?
37 times 37, 37. No, I wasn't good in math. I can't believe I did this. I don't know. Is 4. Wait, 37 times 37 is 37.
This is my payback.
600. No, 60. No, 37 times is 604, right?
Are you sure?
604, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. No, 614. What?
Say nice. Then help on me.
Please, I wasn't good in math. Please.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you. But before you go, can you quickly call out your social media handles and business and personal so they can actually follow you and check you out?
Okay, my social media handle on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is at Ehbs_Couture, and www.ehbscouture.com. You can just shop directly on the website.
Okay. And you don't have a personal?
Okay, my personal handle is at Ebony, EHBONNY, on all social media.
Okay, you can follow her, and then you can follow me on Instagram at PHYCE5. Thank you so much for sticking with me, but do not forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. This is all of that is on the scroll bar down here. Thank you again for sticking with me, and from me and my guest, it's bye-bye.